Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Immigrant Section. It's your boy Abbas Wahab saying, howdy, thanks for tuning in. First things first, scroll down, go to store.abbaswahab.com and check out the new merch, shirts, hoodies, and shit. I was going to say this in the middle, but fuck it, I'm lazy. Whatever, off the top. Check that stuff out. Designed by two Toronto artists, Back to Basics and Joshua DeCucas, or Joshua DeCucas. Whatever, you know what I'm saying, Joshua. But either way, check that shit out. And enough of all that. With me today in the studio, one of Toronto's finest comics and one of the original guests of the Immigrant Section, Tamara Shevon. What's poppin'?
Yes, y'all. It's been so long.
Yo, yeah, you were, I think, episode like 6, 7, or 8 or something, back when I had it at Much. Remember you met me in the middle of the night next to a corner.
Yeah, when you're like, come meet me at midnight.
Yeah, on a Monday.
I was like, what in the Cinderella is happening right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It's
you know what?
been a minute, though.
That day was the day that I realized I was having a good time. I had done a bunch of like M that weekend. It was right after Pride because I had those Pride nails, and I got heat stroke the day after.
After the podcast, or?
Yeah.
So, as a result, because like you didn't sleep well, or like it's just a coincidence?
It was just a coincidence.
Okay.
But I always equate that time with when I got heat stroke.
You're like, it's the fucking podcast. That's why I don't do podcasts. You know what I mean? Like, it fucks with my head.
It was too fire.
You literally waited till I drank something. I'm going to make this motherfucker choke. It was too fire.
Yeah, no, for real.
You literally show up, talk to my girl as I'm setting up, and I hear the conversation from here. I'm like, fuck, I'm not going to be able to top that. Like, you guys are getting into the nitty gritty. I'm like, yo, save that shit. Damn.
Yo, but she's so easy to talk to.
I know. That's why I'm with her, you know? That's why it works.
That's why we're with her.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. That's it. You're not leaving after this.
I'm going to hang out.
Yeah,
this is where I live now.
There's tacos after
They're
this.
making tacos? I'm like, okay. So.
We invited her into just a loving home of tacos and podcasts. I was like, welcome. She doesn't want to leave.
I'm not leaving.
Yo, what's going on? I overheard you. You've had like, I remember having you on the podcast and we talked about whatever we talked. I don't even remember. It was years ago. But now that I overheard you with my girl talking, you've done like aggressive sales. You've done like 8 things that you were like, I was top this. I was like, what the fuck? How come we never, and you never said that shit to me, and I never even heard it on stage.
I do have some jokes about like all the shit that I
Cheers,
have.
By the way.
Cheers. Yeah, we are drinking.
Ooh.
The sun is up.
Ooh. Yeah. Like, I don't think I've ever heard you say that, but I could see you. Comedians, we got that. It's easy. You're funny. People like you. They want to buy from you or whatever.
Sales is rough because when you're good at sales, you hate it. Right? Because you're so good at it. People love you, but you have to really love your product. Right? And then you also have to want to do it all the time. It's not like comedy where it's like fun. It's something where you're doing it for the man. And then you're like doing it for the corporation. And you're like, do I really care about fiber optic internet like that?
Yeah.
I don't.
You care about the money at the beginning.
But I was working. Yeah, I care about the money.
The money's nice at the beginning. You're like, fuck whatever I'm selling. This is nice.
Well, that's the whole thing. I can only sell things that I actually believe in.
So, but you're saying that like you tried to sell stuff that you don't believe in and were successful, but said fuck it, or you just can't sell shit you don't care about.
I was successful, but then I realized like when I started getting phone calls being like, this doesn't work. And I was like, true.
Yeah. Like zero commitment cause like you don't care about like you couldn't give a fuck less essentially.
Yeah, it's just like, well,
this is when it's internet or something where it's like, you know, the average person's getting screwed to begin with.
Well, they're like, I'm not getting it in my attic. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Do I look like an account manager or do I look like a sales representative? You know what I mean? That's another person's job.
That's so fucking, it is that cutthroat, dude.
Yeah.
It is that cutthroat. They'll be like, you're going to have to talk to, let me just click this button and transfer this problem so I can never hear of it again.
Yeah, they're like, oh, but like you said, you met my kids, you know my wife, we made you dinner. I was like, yeah, and that was a beautiful day.
It's like a bad breakup. We dated for 2 years. This internet sucks. Yo, it is what it is.
Yeah, sorry you can't get on Facebook, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you tried Craigslist?
Have you tried the library? They got free internet, baby. That's so funny. But did you ever sell anything where you were like, you love selling?
No.
No, never.
No, I mean like comedy shows and stuff. I love selling that shit. But like in terms of actual products, no. I can't say that I did.
Because you're not involved in you're not like involved emotionally in any way,
No.
unless it's the thing. Like comedy is the truest form of like expression. So you're like, I just am selling people on coming here so we can just do the thing.
Yeah.
But it can't be like, I love bikes, so I'm just gonna fall in love with selling. It's like that. And even if you do, that shit lasts a month or 2 months.
Right? And then you're just like, I don't give a
You're
fuck.
like, I don't give a fuck about this bike. I thought I liked it. There's better bikes. Fuck.
There are better bikes. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing. Like I sold like lead management tools for car dealerships for years.
Oh my God. I almost fell asleep. Lead management tools. Did you guys just call them LMS or like lead management?
It was called Torque. And I worked for like.
Of course, it has to be some sort of car thing.
Yeah.
Horsepower.
And I only worked with like companies in the States from Canada. So it was like really fucked. And I'd have to get on like these like meetings with people and be like, here's what we're going to do.
What is lead management tools?
It's basically like how to get more people into
Oh,
your dealership.
leads.
Like
gotcha.
actual leads.
Sales leads.
Yeah, sales
gotcha.
leads.
Yeah.
See, I'm talking like I was a part of the
you
fucking
got the
cult.
jargon. Yeah, you were in. I thought you meant like this organizes management, like the leadership. But no, leads. That makes way more sense.
It's like managing your leads, sending out like instead of because they used to sell out flyers, like send flyers out and do all that stuff. I'm like, there's a different way to do it, and I'd like, pitch them on it. And I was like, why am I doing this?
Sales is one of those crazy things that can take an average Joe to the peak of like. It's one of those few things that like, sure, you may not have been born 6'11", and like those guys that. All those dudes that end up being high sixes, they're like, okay, I'm in the hood. I'm growing fast as fuck. All my family's tall. This is a way out. Let's play basketball. Let's get good. 100 free throws a day, right? And you fucking 5'5". So right away, effort is pretty much like, what's the point?
Right.
Sales is one of those things that like all those sales has a funny like thing. It's like you go to the top of sales and then you do motivation. How many people have done that? Where they go to the top of their thing, real estate, car, whatever it is, and now I'm going to tell people how to sell. I'm going to have seminars on how to sell, which makes me more money than selling because this is the new thing.
It's literally like that's exactly what it is. It's like when you're a construction worker, right? There's so many construction workers in the family, no big deal, and then someone becomes whatever those people are, like the
foreman, and then they have the business, and then they go all the way up. It's like it's one of those things where you could just be like no education.
Yeah.
It's just the exposure in that industry.
Yeah.
Could take you like to net worths 100 times what doctors are. You know what I mean? Like
and then you end up at Mattamy Homes getting strippers while you're on site. Remember that shit?
well, yeah. Dude, that guy had a heart attack, apparently.
That guy had a heart attack?
Apparently, they beat the shit out of it. Like, I never even looked at this story again, but the kid that was new to the construction site that recorded it and put it online, which is like this, like, it's standard playground rules to not do that. What are you doing?
He's the 5'5" one in the family.
Yeah, right. All these tall motherfuckers are going down.
Yeah.
Dude, they beat him to a pulp, apparently.
With a crowbar.
Oh, I didn't even know about that. That's hilarious. That's a Simpsons episode. Like, that's mob shit. With a crowbar, they broke his collarbone and like.
Yeah, which is like the collarbone's a rough one. Like,
the ribs and the collarbone apparently are like, I don't know. I've never broken a muscle or a muscle.
I've bruised my ribs playing rugby. I played rugby for 7 years or something. And I bruised my rib and I was like, this is literally my nightmare. But like to break
breathing is painful, I've heard.
It already is for me.
Yeah.
But I had to walk up the hill to your house and I was like, this is an Olympic sport.
My house is on a fucked up hill. Like the type of hill that I don't even attempt to bike up it. As soon as I get to the bottom, I get off of my bike like a good Samaritan.
And you walk it up and you pick it up on your...
And I walk it up like a fucking like soldier, just up.
Yeah,
it's really steep, like San Fran steep.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on right now? And I'm like in this like this material doesn't breathe,
Yeah, I know about that life.
I had to do like a deodorant touch up when I got here.
Yeah, I didn't even know about that. I love the honesty.
Thank you. But yeah, no, so I've done sales a bunch. I've worked a lot, like do a lot of stuff with like, sports journalism.
Yeah, that's another thing I overheard. Like,
yeah.
So that's something more like you this was the last thing.
Yeah.
Or this is current?
This is right now. This is happening right now.
So what do you do? Like you watch a game and you write a thing for them?
I work with the stats department. So basically I work with like the nerdiest people that only know like sports, like only know football in terms of like.
Oh, they're always chewing gum and just clicking a pen, right?
Yeah,
40 on the over. 40
yeah,
on
literally.
Yeah.
And then I take what they're telling me and I put it into like words for humans.
I could just be like, you just whatever they say. Like, yeah, just email it. Just send it in a PDF.
Yeah.
Hey, Tamara, just email it all, okay? Just
yeah, and then I have to like take that, interpret it, and then put it into like layman terms, I guess, for people that are like, what the fuck happened in this game?
like, give me an example of the last thing you did.
The last thing I did, like so basically you'd be watching a game. You know, okay, basically.
What sport, by the way?
Football.
Okay.
So you know those stats that come up like out of nowhere while you're watching a game? It's like, and he's caught the ball 42% of the time.
Yeah.
They do that in their head. They already know that stuff. I take those stats and I put them into like, based on how many times he's done this. This is his ratio of when he does it, and this is why this person's a better quarterback than this person.
Oh.
Like I'll break it down in like real terms.
Damn.
Yeah.
And you truly love football.
I love football. Football's like my jam.
Dude,
Grew
that's
up like
fucking
watching
sick.
football my whole life. My dad was a huge football fan. And so
So here's a question. Every time I run into people like you that are like, they love it, they know it all, I'm like, how are you not rich off betting? Like, is it, you know what I mean? Like,
Not
is it
allowed to
just
bet.
not predictable?
I'm not allowed to bet.
But you can go into a convenience store and bet. What do you mean? How can you not bet?
Well,
because you have
it's in my
access to
contract.
stats?
Yeah, it's in my contract that I'm not, it's frowned upon.
But you can't just whisper in a friend's ear, like, here's $100, go to that convenience store, buy this pro line lineup or whatever.
I could, but can you trust people like that?
Gotcha.
Like,
But-
I mean, I did bet last year. Me and Paul.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's been on the podcast. Thompson.
Paul Thompson, yeah, shout out. I got to have him back on.
Yeah.
He lives with Conrad now, huh?
I went there. I was at Paul's house.
Also, who's been on the podcast? All of Toronto's, half of Toronto's been on this podcast.
I was at Paul's house when he moved in the first day, watching him trying to put together his bed. I was so stoned and so drunk.
Black Zeus's bedroom for 4 years or something.
Yeah, crazy.
It's the history continues.
I'm like, should I move in? Like,
Yeah,
what's going
yeah.
on? Right? Like,
We don't really have another room, but we can talk.
but no, like we bet together last year, and like some of it's up to chance.
When
right?
you weren't contractually locked out.
I was,
Okay.
but it was.
I was trying to save you.
It was
there.
no, but it was a really.
You're like, no, I was.
It was a week that you couldn't have predicted anything.
Gotcha.
It was a week right before you got to the wild card week, so it was like really intense.
What's the wild card week?
Wild card's like all the people that like.
Teams that like you don't know what's gonna happen.
Well, yeah, they're teams that could make it into the playoffs.
Okay.
Only if they win that game.
Gotcha.
So it's like all the people that are the rechecks from the actual playoffs. And then it's like they have one more chance to make it into the playoffs.
Gotcha. Those are called wild cards. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just like desperately. You don't know what's gonna happen, and
Yeah.
and if they lose, they're out.
They're out.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
So it's like teams that would end with like 7-7. They won 7 games, lost 7 games.
Gotcha, okay.
And if they win their 8th game now,
Do you make the most money with wild cards?
you make more money because the stats are like the spreads are crazier.
Okay.
Right? So it's like when there's more risk, you make more money. So
Of
obviously,
course. Okay. Like with everything in life, essentially.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like if like back in the day, if you were betting on the Patriots, right?
Oh,
And-
now and
and-
now it's like nothing. You make nothing because they're
Yeah.
probably gonna win.
Yeah, but back in the day, now it's different, right? But
Yeah.
like now it's like when they were like 15-0, if you're like, oh, they're gonna go 16-0, you're gonna make like $5.
Gotcha. Okay.
But if like
okay.
the Giants, if you're like, oh, the Giants will upset the Patriots, which is what happened, you would win like $500.
a bigger payout.
Yeah, like
Like Golden State with basketball for those years
Yeah.
would have been you would have made nothing on them because they just
Exactly.
keep winning.
yeah, but if you're like the Raptors are gonna beat Golden State in
You,
the finals,
whoever bet on the Raptors from the beginning of the season
Yeah.
is probably like 1,000 times their money. Probably.
they're in Morocco.
Yeah, they're gone.
They're living
They've
it
checked
up.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're done.
That's fucking awesome.
Do you bet on sports at all?
I was in a Proline commercial, so a lot of people ask me this shit as if they looked at their most serious gamblers and were like, "This guy's got a problem with gambling. We need to put him in this commercial."
Who's lost their house?
Yeah,
Get him
right.
on this
Well, we
commercial.
got these 6 guys. Which one was this commercial ready? But no, I don't. But because I don't know sports like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'll watch football. Basketball is probably the most one I know, and I barely know it just because like it was never on in my house. We never had that channel. Nobody in my house. Nobody in my house was watching sports like that. You know what I mean? So it's like a
Yeah.
lot of people I know grew up. Sports was in the house.
Yeah.
They're with their parents watching the game. Their parents, damn you, fucking Suns, and you're like, Suns bad, and like you learn.
Yeah.
It was not like that for me at all. So like I just kind of know at surface level, but when I meet people
Yeah.
like you, in my mind, I'm like, bro, they have all the data. They should be like,
And all the dads.
yeah, right? Like they should be cleaning up, like bet wise. But then again, like
It's
it's
so
probably not that
unpredict-
simple. It's like
so unpredictable.
it's like
that-
Vegas at the end of the day.
Vegas is such a like manipulative system, but like, yeah, like it's just, you never know for sure, but you have an idea. You really bank on like upset sometimes. I always go for the underdog. Like I love an underdog story.
Because it's just funner too. Like
Yeah.
I'll tell you this though, by the way, that I have bet on a couple fights and games.
Yeah.
Just to bet. A couple of my friends were betting, so I could, the way they were betting, I could just get in on that. And man, does that change how you watch that game?
Yeah.
Wow, that's the thing I realized. The first time I put money on a game, now I realize people like swinging and hitting someone or fighting after a thing. I get that. I'm like, they had money on the line and they lost. That's what, when you see crazy emotional shit happen, they lost money.
People betting that much though is worrying to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's like when someone's like, I put $500 down on that game and hopefully if I win, I'll be able to pay my rent. I'm like, are you
That shows
like, what the fuck
that shows a fundamental problem of thinking. That's why it's so concerning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
because people be like, now, like they'll like I put everything in my bank account into this game. I'm like, why? Like
that is the most, because gambling is like a fucking alcoholism. All this shit will take people like heroin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll
Yeah.
take people like heroin. Like I have only seen depictions or I've only heard crazy stories. Thank God I don't have any friend who's like, you see him trembling at the thing and he can't stop fucking, bro, that's it. You lost everything. Just give me $100. I've never experienced that, but I've heard stories of people like going one after another of the friend and pulling them aside, borrowing money from their ATM and like just
buddy.
crazy gambling addiction.
How about
stories.
the people that see the games going bad halfway through on their bet and then they put in money at halftime against themselves? And they're like, well, either way.
Just to try to average it out?
They're like, oh, either way I'll get it back. I'm like, but like there's.
You lose on every one.
Yeah, you just keep losing. Because there's also like a point spread in football.
Explain that.
So like you can bet like on a team to win, which is dope, like this team or this team, which is the way that I would suggest everyone, if you don't know how to bet properly with sports, how you bet, especially football. Then there's point spread where it's like they're going to win by 2 points. They're going to win by 5
You
points.
make more money the more descriptive you get.
Yeah.
Because the chances and your likelihood plummet.
Yeah.
Okay. So point spread is where people fucking just lose money like crazy.
Oh, it's brutal because you could win all of your picks, but you could lose all of your points.
Okay. And lose money.
So then you just lose.
Okay.
Because it's like, oh yeah, Denver won, but they didn't win by 5, so now I lost $600.
That's crazy. But if they won by that, you'd make like grands,
Yeah.
right? That's what I listen to a podcast where they're always talking about spreads, and I'm like, fuck, this just. It's enticing. I feel like I would have that gambling thing. Like another time, a birthday of mine, my friend took me Niagara Falls Casino. First time I was in a casino. First time I had money in a casino.
Oh, no.
And I remember they all just put in their pockets. Collectively, they gave me about $250. And I lost almost all of it within like 20 minutes of roulette, right? And then my one friend started like betting correctly. And I just started following what he was betting.
Yeah.
It's all luck.
Yeah.
But you're like, this guy is fucking, he's hot. You know what I mean? So I started betting. And I started with 250, and by the end I was at like 240 or 230, and I've never felt like such a winner. I'm like, this is like sickness. I've lost money, but I was so down that emotionally I'm so high back up. It's like a roller coaster. I've lost money, but like it's like a ride of thrills. I'm like, this is fucked.
It's so fucked. And the crazy thing about it is that like, you go like people, the people in Niagara, like I took an Uber when I went on a girls trip and there's an Uber driver and I was like, oh, we might go to the casino later. He's like, oh, I put myself on the list. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, oh yeah, you can put yourself on a list so that you ban yourself from the casino.
Oh, because you have addictive tendencies.
Yeah, he's like, I lost my wife, I lost my car, I lost my house.
Jesus, you should have put yourself on the list earlier, bro.
And he's like, and then I put myself on the list and like now, and
I found God.
Like truly,
driving.
like, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like people, like it's so weird. Like for me,
people lose themselves to this shit. You hear the stories all the time.
When people like buying a lottery ticket, I'm like, do I want a coffee? Or I'm like, I can for sure get a coffee. I can't for sure get that $5 back. Like I
know. And what's funny is like, so often I'm in line at a convenience store, and most times people are buying lottery in front of me.
Yeah.
Almost. I'm the only one not buying lottery. So at some point, I'm just like, I mean, it's like an adult, like you pretty much graduate from candy to lottery.
Yeah,
like
truly.
it's adult candy.
It is.
$5.
I've won some good money
You know what
off
I mean?
lottery
Like,
though. Like I've like bought a
that's the
$5
thrill.
ticket and I've won like, $800.
Like off like 3 cherries or whatever the fuck.
No,
the
like
scratch
just a quick pick Lotto
off
Max.
sports.
Who
Oh
cares?
no, off numbers.
Yeah, just off like numbers off like 649 Lotto Max kind of thing.
But the thing is, if you keep buying, you lose in the long run always. That's like the stats of it.
Yeah, at this point I've broken even.
That's pretty sweet though. If I was in your shoes, I would stick to football betting. Like simplistic, like Proline, and not to push Proline because I've already done that enough. They haven't. They're not listening to this and giving me new recall checks and shit. But Proline and a lot of these gambling, you gamble on like a series of games to win.
Yeah.
Like these guys will win, then they'll win, then they'll win, and you keep multiplying your money if you're correct. And like the guys I know that have made like $8,000 off stuff, they always do that. They don't do this point spread thing, which I just learned right now.
Yeah,
Because they'll be like, bro, I called 5 games, and they'll always say shit like, and man, if I called that 7, it would have been $30,000, and I knew those 2. That's what I was gonna say.
I know.
They always say that.
They always knew.
That's what I would have called. I just didn't want to push it with 7.
Right? That's constant. I will play. Like last year, I can play like pools is like where you just like are like you just pick a blackout like team to win. Like this team's gonna win, this team's gonna win, and you have to choose other teams that you can't bet on, right? And you want to choose. I'm basically just telling people how to bet right now.
I love this. I didn't know all this. I didn't know what spread was, and I didn't want to Google it. I wanted someone to explain it to me. The fuck is point spread?
But you want to choose the most unlikely duos. Like if you choose like really
But
big
doesn't that mean
rivalries,
chance are you're gonna lose? Because they're unlikely.
Yeah, the chances are you are gonna lose, but
Chances are you'll win big if you win.
you'll win big if you win.
So like what? Give me an example.
So like if you were to choose a game that nobody cares about, like say you were to like last night's game was crazy. Like you have the Rams or like you have like Las Vegas and Jacksonville, right? And so you're looking at that. And then by the end of the game, I was watching it. I almost bet on that game as 27-27 going into overtime. I'm like, this is so much anxiety. Like, fuck that. Right?
Yeah.
But that's a great game to bet on because it's going to be really good. And who you choose, if you choose it properly, you're going to make like $500 on that.
Fuck, but it's all just educated guesses at the end of the day, right?
Yes.
All of it.
Yeah.
Like how much actual ref bribery shit is happening in football?
I mean...
Like that scandals that, because like I said, I haven't paid attention to football like for sure you have, but does once a year, once every 2 years, or is the NFL never being like, this ref caught bribery?
It's not like soccer like that where like people are like really like this person's cheating, but Vegas really sets it up so that you think something's going to happen that won't. Like their spreads will be so insane that you're like, someone's being paid off. Like the team that you know is going to lose, they'll be like, they'll win by 10. They try to manipulate the system so that people bet in a different way so that Vegas makes the most money.
Oh, so like everyone kind of has a gut feeling of which team is better.
Yeah.
But Vegas will say the worst team is better to skew things, essentially.
They'll skew it by like the spread, by like the team. Yeah, they'll do that and they'll make it so it's like you think you're fucked up. Like you think that you might be wrong.
You second guess yourself.
Yeah, you're like, wait, but I'm watching these games and I think that I know that this, and they're like, well, the other team's supposed to win by 7. You're like, what? And then you start double guessing yourself, like maybe they will win. Maybe I should switch, and then you switch it last minute. And Vegas like, go fuck yourself. Like,
and it's what you originally thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
This has been happening forever.
Forever.
Vegas. They just to. Because they move the market, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is what it'll probably be.
Yeah.
Like, who decides that when they set those numbers, their commission sets it, or who?
A bunch of white men in suits.
Yeah?
Like New York and Vegas.
They got a black guy recently. I'll admit.
Yeah, New York and Vegas, they really like, they're there to help you, but they're also there to hurt you.
Yeah, they're there to make money, first and foremost.
Yeah.
As in, like, everything.
They're like a comedy club.
Yeah, they need to sell drinks.
Yeah.
And put asses in seats.
Yeah.
I don't care how funny you are, but
Yeah.
if you're not going to convince asses to come sit in these seats,
Yeah,
fuck
they're going to
off.
convince you that someone is a headliner that isn't, but they're going to get you blackout drunk and you're going to be like, that wasn't so bad. And they're going to give you shitty fries. And you're going to walk away being like, I just spent $200 and be like, we made $6,000. Like that's
and they're like, art.
Yeah.
The power of art. You're like, you weren't even involved in that at all.
Literally.
Yeah. Well, we make sure the stage is cleaned every week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
through the tears of comedians.
Yeah, right?
Like,
Dude.
truly.
Oh, did you hear Norm Macdonald died?
Oh my God. Okay.
Rest in peace, Norm Macdonald.
Rest in peace, Norm. It's
that
really
dates this episode, by the way, but it is what it is. Like, very sad.
Super sad. One of the best to ever do it.
Sorry, not Toronto, but Canadian, American and Canadian. But now that he's dead, the Canadians will be like, "Fuck, he was ours." Like, you know what I mean?
He was
like,
ours. One of the best to ever do it. Honestly, but battling cancer for 9 years
privately,
which is like, so that means like 61. So that's what,
52.
That's a crazy time to get cancer. I find that comedians are very prone to getting diseases and like dying early because of how much we ruin our bodies for like a long time.
Drinking, yeah. But I mean, 61.
That's not a long time to live.
It's not, but it's definitely not like a 26-year-old or a 27-year-old or a 20 or 35 or whatever. Once you hit your 60s, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm saying rest in peace and everything. All that. I mean, in general.
Yeah.
But like, I don't have that feeling of, oh, fuck, too soon or too early, unless they're in their 50s. Once you hit the 60s, I'm like, okay, that's the run. That's the low end of the spread. You know what I mean?
But
like,
to not even be able to retire.
I mean, he's probably done
fine.
3 decades, if not 3.5 decades of. And 2 of those decades were like top guy.
Yeah, you know what? And that's the thing, to be on your prime for that long, to be in your prime for so long, and then, but it just sucks, right? Because it's like, who?
It's fucking sad, but I mean, that's how it goes, right? I mean, Richard Pryor died in his 40s or 50s.
Yeah.
Actually, did Richard Pryor make it to 60s? I don't know. But
it's the amount of like, the amount of
what you do, the
shit.
ride you take while you're in this earth, the fucking what you put your body through,
right?
It comes at a toll, right? But 61, that's a good life. That's a good life. He reached the top. He's a legend, you know. And I was just driving today after I heard this. My buddy texted me, he said it, and I was like, man, that's a fucking cool thing about comedy, because it's like when your uncle, your aunt died. Or, God forbid, your mom or whatever. All you have, for the most part, is memories and like, and photos. Mm-hmm. But like when an entertainer you really love died, you have their whole body of work there. Yeah. Now it's like locked in concrete. The artist only truly becomes the artist upon death. That's the weird thing. So
weird, right?
Like, I never got into MF Doom till the second I heard he died. When I heard he died, I went fully into his discography. But because there's something about like. You ever watch a show, like a show everyone's watching? Yeah. And you're like, I'm stacking the episodes.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to watch episode after. I'm going to wait till the whole season's done or something. Then I'll watch it, right? Yeah. We kind of do the same thing with the artists where it's like, they're still making stuff. I'll catch up on this shit. And right when you're dead, you're like, fucking fully envelop yourself in their whole work. And it lives. It lives on. Now they're like legend status.
I feel like that's what happened with Mac Miller too. I've loved
Mac Miller the exact same, and me too.
And then everyone's just like, "Oh, Mac," and I'm like, "No, you don't understand how much of a talent we just lost." Mac Miller is like, he is someone that I am like, this is the only person I can look at that could roll with just black people. Like, I feel like he really could. I feel
like he really did. I mean,
really
a lot
did.
of his, like, I think he was from Philly or Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
A lot of those early music videos, you could tell most of his fans were black, but I fuck with Mac Miller big time. I fuck with Mac Miller more than MF Doom, I'll admit. Yeah. I was one of those bandwagon. When MF Doom died, I was like already into Doom because I knew Doom was like this underground god. Yeah. So I listened to some stuff, but it was like, whatever, this is like eclectic crazy, right? Yeah. But when he died, I really got into it and then fell in love with the thing. Yeah. But Mac Miller, I've been bumping for like a decade before he died. I'm like, damn, man.
It really hit, right?
Damn.
Dude. Nike's on my feet. Like, I'm just like, yo, like, remember listening to your first Mac Miller song?
Swimming, man. Like,
Swimming when you listen to that, so good.
When you listen to that album, though, but when you listen to that album,
he's depressed as fuck.
Yeah, that's the sad part. Like, even the fucking final Instagram story he has, is like of him playing the record of his final track in that album, Swimming, and it's always like,
it's not 2009 anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
But then it was. Exactly. So it makes it really fucked.
And there was that, what is that? Small World?
Yeah.
The world is so cold, but...
Yeah.
He's like, I forget the line, but he goes, I'm almost slipping, like I'm losing a finger. Like, I just got to remind myself, like, he's falling and he's in a dark place of like, ended up being fentanyl, didn't it?
Yeah.
Fentanyl, coke.
Which is really bad right now in the States.
Everyone's dying from that.
In the States, it seems like it's like, there's one really bad
You heard
batch
about
going on.
Kate Quigley?
Yeah, which is like I wrote to Kate and was like, "Yo,
Have you ever met her?
Me and Kate did Niagara at the corner. We did the corner Niagara together.
I saw Corner's post with the picture.
And it was really weird because I don't know. It's one of those things where you share a stage with somebody and like being in the scene, you kind of know how those things happen. It's not everyone thinks of like coke as such this like dirty drug and whatever, and it's like when you look at it though, it's like it's really one of those things where it's what has been perpetuated by the scene. Like people like that's what people do, and like that's kind of the way people like talk to each other. A lot of comedians are very closed off and are really anxious and have social anxiety, and and that's what brings that out where people can feel like they're like cool with each other because like smoking a bunch of weed with a bunch of people that you're
putting us deeper in our heads.
Yeah. So you look at that and you're like, I see how it happens, and everyone thinks it's like everyone's doing blow all the time, and it's like, no, they're not.
Yeah, exactly. And when they are, someone's going in the bathroom. Like comedians, the way I witnessed it, and I'm not like a big like coke guy or anything. Like that. Like I've done it a couple times back in the day. At one point, like some years back, I was like, it makes my lower back fucked, and it actually makes my anxiety. I'm like really anxious.
Yeah.
And everything almost makes my anxiety more, except for mushrooms, which I love.
Mushrooms are great.
And M when it's good M.
When it's good M.
When it's bad M, I want to kill myself the next day.
I know.
I never realized it till I went to Cancun, bought shit M, and the next day, I was told the guys, I'm like, yo, I'm sick. Like, I got to stay in the room. Like, I was so depressed and sick. I'm like, I have food poisoning. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
And my other buddy goes, bro, I have the same. Bro, that was the M, bro. That was the M. I'm like, he's like, it's not the food poisoning. I'm like, and the years before that, I heard the calm downs of M.
Yeah.
And I guess I had good stuff or whatever it is. But on Cancun, I was like, wow, this is the worst feeling. Like, people could, like, thank God I'm not already depressed. Because if I was depressed and then I had this thing, people would kill themselves, man.
People do.
I was like, I had nothing. There was nothingness. I felt so sick.
Yeah, but like people like kind of ripping on Kate being like, oh, like it's your fault and like go fuck yourself and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, you don't understand what's going on. And can you like have a little like compassion for the fact that like 3 of her friends are dead?
That's the fucked up part. Imagine
waking
you're all
up,
doing lines.
Yeah.
And 3 of are dead. Like we just found out Norm was dead. A guy I've never met. We know is a legend.
Yeah.
The 3 people with you in the room physically next to you were having a conversation with dead. Yeah. And everyone's like, that's what you get for putting stuff in your... Like, what if it was weed?
Like, that's what I'm saying.
What if it was weed? Like, and then if it was weed, then everyone would have been like, oh, God bless you. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Right? Because everyone smokes weed, but not everyone does coke, right?
Yeah, which is true. But there's a stigma around it, which I understand because these things can happen. But it's like, comedians aren't accountants. They're not going to work 9 to 5 and coming back and chilling and doing whatever. Like our night starts at fucking 7,
8, yeah.
And then you're out until like 3. Then you're out like later on with people because you want to you don't want the night to die because you want to like hang out with people because you're finally having a good time. You wake up, you're depressed all day, you're anxious, you're posting for like to make yourself feel better. You're sharing a couple of memes.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean?
Get this digital serotonin.
Yeah, you're like waiting for your likes, and it's like it's a different world that people don't really get. Like, you don't have to have a bar around you 24/7. It's the only profession where, other than bartenders and servers, where
who are like drunks oftentimes.
Yeah, substances are pushed on comedians.
Absolutely.
And it's like everyone makes it seem like it's comedian's fault. It's like, no, sometimes you don't get paid enough and people will pay you in extra drinks.
I
pay you in like drugs and
pay, but just go check with the coordinator. There's 2 drink tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like,
okay.
I know that was a shit show, but like I got a bag of shrooms.
Always. That's happened a lot recently, which I don't mind.
Yeah.
Shrooms, that's like a community thing, but like paying in alcohol happens all the time.
It's all the time. And it's like, and then so many people are sober and they're like, okay, so if I'm sober and I get these 2 drink tickets, it's just supposed to what?
I mean, yeah.
Like what's going on?
The sponsor's covering that. This is really the budget. I mean.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. You get these sunglasses.
Just give them to someone. Yeah, trade them. I don't know.
Yeah. Now you have to give somebody your drink tickets and you get what?
There's no respect. I was saying on another podcast, I'm like, for most spots in Toronto, if you get paid $20, you're like, okay. If you get paid $20, you're like, all right.
Get off that shit. Get off that shit. I refuse to do that shit now.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I used to get paid in drink tickets. I used to give back more money than I got paid to be at bars. And now I'm just kind of like, yo, what am I doing? Like, I passed that point. Thank God I was able to get past that point. Thank God I'm at a stage now where I'm making actual money in comedy. It's taken 8 years. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it took, like, I'll be on, like, 6 years. These past 2 couple years, I've been making way more money than I've ever made in comedy, but it came at a price. You know what I mean?
It comes at that, it stacks on those years.
Like, we're drinking right now.
Yeah, I mean, and why not? Fuck it. We're killing it. This is not to get paid for anything. This is just a nice drink.
I fell into a bunch of addictions for a big part of my comedy career because that's just kind of like, you can't control things. You can't control, and it's a classic narrative. It's like everyone gets to feel like they're black in America when you're a comedian.
Right.
Like, literally.
Right.
Everyone gets to be like, oh, this is fucked up. Why do I have this system that's going to just keep holding me down? Like, that's literally what it feels like in comedy sometimes. You're getting paid in drink tickets. You're Ubering around. You're trying to hop on streetcars for free. You're doing a 5-minute spot here, a 5-minute spot there, going around. Then somebody has a bag of shrooms or somebody has a bag of blow. And you're like, well, yeah, I feel like I deserve this.
Oh, it's all this or it'll be a bucket show.
Yeah.
And they're like, you got to wait till the end if you want to get paid off the bucket. It's like, you asked me to come do a spot. Why can't you send me my cut?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Everyone is sending people their cut. Why do I got to wait till the end? You know I have other spots
It's
otherwhere else.
bullshit.
I know. It's like, I
We
hate
even have to
this
wait.
shit.
So then you got to wait for me to do my set then.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. It's a bucket. You got to wait till the end if you want to get on the bucket. Or sometimes a lot of places, they'll just pass the bucket and you never hear about it. Oh, the headliner gets, it's unpaid. It's like,
oh, that's the worst when you just see like buckets being filled up with money and you're like, you can't even toss me a 10?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, are you okay?
All that bullshit. It's crazy. And what people don't understand is, like, I go to shows and I'm like, okay, today I have 2 shows tonight, both at bars.
Yeah.
All right, I'm driving. I'm leaving the house. I'm like, fuck. The last 4 days, I have bought 1 or 2 drinks at a bar every night.
Yeah.
And now I've spent $90 as of today. As of, it's 4 days into the week.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't be buying drinks tonight. It's just going to be water. Maybe I'll smoke a joint at some point with someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is how your thinking is. Then you get to the fucking first place.
Oh, please. Yeah.
You find out you're later in the set. You arrived 8 p.m. You're going to probably be getting up at 9, 10 p.m. The bartender goes, what are you having? Right? And then you're just like, fuck, I'm going to be here for an hour and 10 minutes. Everybody here has a drink. Okay, I mean, let's get a beer. Fuck, like,
it's the peer pressure of it all.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm going to be sitting here just conversing, and then you got the nerves a little bit. And so that draws you to the alcohol more.
Yeah.
It's a cycle. It really is a cycle. I'm like really being like yesterday I did 2 shows.
Yeah.
And didn't buy a drink. And I'm driving back home. I'm like,
I'm finally up.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, look at me. I didn't buy a fucking drink. 2 bars. I didn't buy a drink. That's rare for me, where it's like, at least one of these bars, I'm going to get a drink because I feel awkward of just being there an hour. The business owner's like running the show for the specific reason of bar sales. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like...
So it's like, I get it. I'm an employee in this scenario.
Yeah, you
But
are.
I'm also sitting here for an hour and 10 and I don't mind a beer, right?
But that's what they bank on.
But I do spots every night, essentially.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you look at it a night by night case, you're like, yeah, this isn't bad. But like, you're doing a spot every night. You can't be buying 2 drinks at a bar every night, 6 nights a week. What the fuck are you doing?
And
you can't afford that. You don't have CRB.
Now you wonder how purse wine came about.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Purse wine was like started by like, I'm not fucking doing this. I'm gonna bring a bottle like what we have right here, a bottle of water, empty that shit out, drink it first, right? You ready to start getting hydrated? Fill it up with wine.
Drink it. I love that. That's the key. You drink that water first.
Drink the water.
Yeah.
Please drink the water, or else you're gonna end up sleeping with a comedian you don't even like.
You're like a madame at like a burlesque place. All right, girls, remember, drink the water.
Drink the water.
Drink the water,
wine.
ladies. Yeah.
Yeah, drink the water, drink the wine, get fucked. You know what I mean? No. Just kidding. Sorry.
Yeah.
No.
Like, yeah, she does numbers.
No.
You should see the numbers she posts.
Yeah, Ivan
You're
would love
back
to
there
see
with
that.
the old style ticker, like doing fucking stats and shit.
Yeah, but like that's what you have to kind of like find a way to supplement. Like if you're taking an Uber somewhere, then you're fucked. Like you can't have a drink. Then you have to like, it's just like a whole process. Like if you go to your job that's 9 to 5, no one's like, want a drink? Want to have a drink? Like they're giving you pizza lunches and shit. They're like, you know what I mean? Like we chose this profession and it's like really heavily banked on us also spending money on the places that we're doing our shows at.
It's crazy. The only thing I will say is funny is at the same time, because it kind of is an art, people have like a leeway with you. Like I MC weddings. And IMC weddings all the time. This is essentially how I live.
I know, and it's just funny because I remember just seeing your last video, and I was like, that's so funny.
But like they're Muslim weddings, so no alcohol. But when they're not, like Nigerian, white, whatever they are, and there are alcohol, and there is alcohol, it's always like, get a drink. You know what I mean? Like, you're the MC, get a drink. Like, you're celebrating with us tonight. You know what I mean? Which is sick for those, 2 drinks you have, and then that third drink.
What do you mean 2?
No, but then at one point you're just like, okay, I'm in Burlington right now. Let's keep that in mind, and make no mistake that I drove here. Okay, so it's like, okay, I gotta give that fucking gap, and then and they're like, you're locked in until 10 or 11 for this fucking night, and you're sitting there like a dumbass for 99% of the night, sitting there with the DJ like a dumbass. Every now and then, hey, can you just make an announcement that they're going to be doing their first dance? Oh, hey, by the way, they're going to do a cake cutting thing. So just, can you get, yeah. I have a wireless mic. I click the button. It becomes green, which means it's on.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, now make your way to the thing and this and blah, 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 and do this. Again, one more time, at your own time, make your way to the gentleman. But I have to sit there for another 45 minutes. Like,
how did you get into this? This is like what you're doing. Like, how did you even start doing this?
Tamara, I just put an ad on Kijiji.
Shut up.
I swear to God. 100% of it comes from Kijiji.
Are you? No.
I swear to God. A couple of people have been at the wedding and been like, please do like my cousins. I'll line you up. But most of it is off either Kijiji or Gig Salad.
Okay, Gig Salad I've heard is like actually pretty dope.
Yeah. But most of the times I book it on Gig Salad, I'm like, just email transfer me. Why are we giving these motherfuckers a cut?
Right?
Why are we giving them a cut?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You're paying an amount. I'm getting less. Pay me that exact same amount. Let me have all of it. E-transfer it to me. But Gig Salad is like, you got to get paid through us if you want to be able to leave a review. You know what I mean? So it's like that game of you got to do it through them a couple of times so reviews are left.
Yeah, you have to like try it out.
Just a little bit, like, just so I have, so like, like if you have any sort of freelance service and you have 0 reviews, you're like one of those wild cards. You're like, I don't want to hire this motherfucker. I don't know which way this is going to go. But if like 3-4 people are like, yeah, he showed up, he was awesome. Then people are like, oh, okay, this is a real human.
Oh, because it's kind of like builds your profile.
Yeah. But I'm like, I'm not going to go through. I'm email transfer me this.
Yeah.
It's not why. I have 3 reviews on there. That's all people need to know, that I exist and I'm a human and I show up.
3 times people said I'm the best.
Exactly. 5 stars.
E-transfer me the rest.
E-transfer me the rest. That's it. That's what's up. And it's like, there's so many backlog of weddings from COVID that it's just like boom, 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 boom.
So how many weddings would you say you're doing? Like,
actually, I gotta call a fucking wedding planner. Like, I forgot. I'm supposed to call her like right after this podcast. Honestly, if I do, like, how many am I doing?
Like, how many have you done? Like, how many did you do last month? Because it's like,
I did a lot, like a record.
No.
Like, are we October or September? We're still September.
Yeah.
Between September and August, I've probably done 6 or 7.
Jeez.
Yeah, and I have one like next Sunday or something.
So that's like rent on rent.
Yeah. That's awesome because I haven't booked any commercials in 6 months. I'm only on the CRB.
So are you also an actor?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. Like, I'm auditioning all the time. But I've done, since my last booking, I've auditioned like 56 times. I've had 56 no's since my last booking.
Dude, like, that's the whole thing.
I could show you every single one. I have a folder for like everyone. Hi, Abbas Wahab, reading for this. And then I fucking do it. And I never hear from them again.
I've been doing a lot of voice work recently, which has been nice. Because I'm not an actor. Like, I don't like to be on camera like that, which everyone thinks is so weird. But like, I don't.
Yeah, because you're killing it right now. You're like,
hey,
you're like
I'm
literally
chilling.
leaning like so smooth. Like, I just don't fuck around on camera. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you're killing it right now.
I don't like.
But I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I know what
like,
you mean.
I can have someone record my sets. I can do it like, but like my voice, I'm like, I can do a voice thing. I'm all about that. But to like go in and look someone in the eye and like have to forge a relationship and like feel it, it's like, nah, man. Like, I can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I came to Canada when I was 6, and I did my best acting possible every day to not feel like an immigrant.
So
for
you're
20 years, for 20 years, until I was like, fuck that shit. I am Sudani. I'm like, fucking, Arabic is my first language. I speak to my mom in Arabic. I'm a fucking immigrant. You know what I mean?
Speak to your mom in Arabic?
Yeah, oh yeah, exclusively.
No.
Exclusively. Oh, yeah, till now.
She doesn't speak English?
She speaks English, but it's like,
Why would you even
why are you
bother?
talking? Yeah, what are we doing? Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
let's just talk the way we want to talk.
yeah, exactly. So I speak, like, I embraced that probably around 25, 26, right when I got into stand-up, like 25.
Yeah.
That's when I started. But for decades, I was, like, watching movies and practicing how people say the things, like.
Wow.
So, like, I've been trying to, like, and I didn't realize it was helping me act. I'm like, I fucking act. I'm a good actor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can picture that.
Yeah, I'm a good actor. Like, I don't book a lot because it's the scene's bullshit. And
The
they're looking
scene
for.
is very intense.
They're like,
right
we're
now.
looking for, more this. We're looking for, like, a darker, a light-skinned guy or this guy or this fucking whatever, right? So you don't always book. It's not always merit. It's like a look because I do a lot of commercial stuff. But I know I'm a good actor and I don't mind. I'm fine in front of camera. So I'm like, let me just MC, do some acting, and comedy is picking up. I'm going into year 6.
You're going to year 6 now.
I'm going next year's year 6.
This is your
for
big
me.
year.
This is my year 5 right now.
So
next
6,
year's-
I think, is everyone's big year.
Yeah.
I think that's when things like really like kind of start to turn around.
Yeah, and I'm already feeling it. Not money wise,
You'll feel it money wise soon.
but like spots wise, and it is even money wise. But
Yeah.
by that I don't mean like the money I'm getting or
Yeah.
I'm seeing I'm about to get is gonna maybe help me with half my rent.
Yeah.
Which is still money, right? But it's not like, yo, I can just do stand up and I got my rent covered, my car insurance, my gas, my food. Like, no, I need other fucking schemes to figure that shit out.
That's the thing with it's like right now I could live off of comedy, but
That's fucking
it's-
beautiful.
But it's
that
very
takes
tight.
8 years.
It's very tight. You know what I mean? In the sense where it's like,
you gotta minimize your budget.
yeah, right. I'm not gonna buy 2 glasses of wine at the bar.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drink a bottle of wine and then have 1 glass at the bar.
Yeah, you don't get high speed internet.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just get high speed internet.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not in every
You
room.
can't get 15 gigabytes of data a month. You
No.
know what I mean?
Well-
I'm on that 6.
Well, no, actually, I have unlimited data, but that's because I have an old school Freedom mobile plan. You see what I mean? You got to cut corners.
That's high level shit though. That's shit. You sold that shit. I don't even know about that.
Yeah, like I got like, but like it's just one of those things where it's like I could, but I don't want to live in anxiety, like stressed, like where I'm like, what if I lose 1 gig or what if I get booked on one? Like,
So you gotta have a buffer zone with some other
yeah,
shit. This
which is
the,
how I ended up in having like 4
stats.
jobs. Like, yeah.
Is it still not just the stats? It's other stuff.
Yeah, also teaching. So also like I teach grade 11 and 12 English and French, but I go by my real name at my teaching job because I don't need the parents looking me up. And then
That's a good move.
yeah, right.
You learn some years into it. It's like, do not tell people you do stand up at all.
No.
I learned that right when I had 1 year of overlap between corporate and stand up.
Yeah.
And I like held out for like 2 months
Yeah.
before I told anyone I was doing open mics. You know what I mean? And
then-
when I did, biggest mistake of my life.
It's the worst.
You never say, and people are like, why? Why? Own it. It's like, shut the fuck up. You don't get it.
Yeah,
you
it's
know
like
what I mean?
my
Hey,
quote-
Abbas. Hey, I heard you're doing sets. It's like, oh God.
That's what happened. Like I was like, my boss, my boss, like that's my teacher boss, like my school boss. She knows that I do stand up, but I'm like, listen. She tried to get me to do like MC prom. I was like, I don't do prom shit. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want me to open with an anal
fucking
joke.
tonight. Who fucking tonight?
Literally.
Chaperone.
You got $100 bill? Put your hands up.
Yeah.
They're like, please stop doing that.
They're like, yeah.
So
Love the energy, Tamera.
love the energy.
Just
You're
the
also
content.
fired.
It's the nature of what you said.
yeah, stop telling 16-year-olds to do anal. Like, yeah. So I gotta like, yeah, but I'm always someone that has like 3 jobs, 4 jobs, like doing a bunch of stuff, and I kind of just want to cut that down and only do things that I really, really love now. And football is one of those things that I really love, and like teaching something that, I mean, I'm really good at. I've taught my whole like I was a professor when I was 23. Like I was living in China, working at a university.
You know what? That's funny. Me and you are like the. Actually, I know one other, but we're the like only black people I can be like, yo, remember China? Remember
Yo,
China?
remember China?
Yo!
China was fire.
China was sick.
Like I want to go back. I know it's not gonna be the
You
same.
feel like
how big-
Bigfoot in China. You know what I mean? Like,
But you're also just like eating full dinners for $1.50.
oh, fucking Szechuan style.
Buddy,
I love
please.
Szechuan style restaurants. You know? Oh.
Like get me that fire. You know what I mean? And that's just
little
like,
lamb curry, lamb cubes.
so good.
It's a lot of stuff in China you would think you would get in India, but like,
Yeah.
fuck it. There's no limits here. It's China, baby. Like,
Yeah.
I just get the fucking Chinese coworkers to take me out. Like, I go to the like sign with a proper neon sign. Like that's when I go. But when they take me, it's like fucking flat. The sign, it's like in a place. Everything is. There's no English side. There's no obviously. There's nothing. Yeah. But then it's the best food, right?
It's the best food. You have the best baijiu. Like you got.
I forget even what baijiu is.
Baijiu, like the fucking like white rice liquor.
Oh
that like old men would drink cups of.
What's for everywhere you go in the world, there's always old alcoholics drinking a lot of whatever their thing is.
But it's like 80% or some shit, like 68%, something crazy like that.
Baijiu, I remember hearing that.
It was like in the green bottle. It smelled and tasted like.
Is that
licorice.
the apple one? No, they got like that's a Korean style.
Yeah,
that, like
that's
20% apple. Yeah.
Soju's
that
the
goes
Korean
down
one.
like a beer, and it's like 20 or 15 or 20%.
It's stupid. It's $1.
Yeah.
Body, like that's what I mean. It's just like, oh yeah, like It's rough to go to a place like that and be like, come back and not be like, I love drinking. Like,
yeah, right? And they drink hard too.
They drink hard.
They drink a cigarette and a beer and a cigarette, and it's like, God damn.
That's their whole night.
You guys go hard.
Like,
people drink and smoke way harder than in North America, and here we're the most strict on it. Don't drink and drive. Stop smoking. You know what I mean?
You'll see someone drink a whole cup of like hard liquor and be like, all right. See you guys
taking
tomorrow.
The kids are in the car. Yeah, just gonna probably head home. I'll probably come back.
Yeah, you're
Jesus.
like, what?
Yeah. It's fucking wild. But the decisions we made got us to work in China as black people, which is a fucking pretty novel experience. It's an interesting experience.
Yeah, I'm surprised my mom was like down for me to go.
Did you have like a sheltering mom?
My mom was really, really strict until I was 16 and then let me do whatever I wanted to do. It was one of those things where she was like, I've given you all of the knowledge.
Lessons, yes.
Yeah, and then you can... She always, every time I leave, she's like, okay, go out, have fun, be good, and if you can't be good, be careful. That's all she says every time. Yeah, that's her saying. That's her slogan. Everyone loves it about my mom because she's like, you're probably going to do stupid shit, but just try to be careful about it.
I love that. If you can't be good, be careful.
Yeah.
That's a t-shirt right there.
I know, right?
Your mom could get sick merch. I'll push it on this.
I'll
push it on the pod. Yo, scroll down right now. Her mom's merch is on there. Yo, if you can't be good, be careful, mom. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, straight up. That's what she says all the time. She'll text it to me and shit. It's really cute because she knows her daughter. She knows who she raised.
That's fucking awesome.
So when I went to China, she was just like, the only thing I want you to do is call me every day. And I was like, that's huge. But
yeah. Every day, Jesus.
Every day.
A lot, mom.
But it was good because I realized I'm in a foreign country.
Yeah. So, it's like you love the ability to speak fluently in English.
Yeah.
Oh, mama, it's like it's like a tap is opening, you know?
Yeah.
That's why if you ever go, and this is for Sudan too, whenever I go to a place that doesn't speak English, the first person you meet that has good English, you fucking stick with them.
That's your best friend.
That's your best. My one cousin who could speak the best English, that was my best friend cousin. You know what I mean? The one coworker I had at Suzhou, China that I work with that spoke the best English.
Yeah.
That was my guy. Till this day, I look this guy up. The Taiwan guy. Like,
the Taiwanese English. Are great.
Oh, they're like, their English is almost like curriculum English.
Yeah.
He's like, he's like, comedy. This is not common. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, my guy.
Not common.
Yeah. I'm like, but I'm doing it, man. Fuck all this shit, bro. You want to keep doing trial runs all the time? He's like, I have a daughter. You know, it's like real conversation.
Yeah,
that's a person you stick. Whoever has the best. Like I had a cousin in Sudan who all he did, he lives in Mecca, like where like the Kaaba is, like
lives in
like
Mecca?
in Saudi, like where the black Kaaba is. Like he lived there, and he had the most like LimeWire like Hollywood movies.
What?
He had every movie ever. American Pie, like all of them. So his English was like you and I English. Yo, bro, no way. Like his English was like, it wasn't like, he wasn't like reading and writing perfect English. It was exact talking English. And I would just be like this with this guy. Just so you can talk whatever language you talk.
It's crazy. I feel like everyone should travel to somewhere that they are not born and live there for a bit. Like I feel like every person should do that. It makes you just a better person, and it makes you realize a lot of things about yourself. Like when people are like, I have to go find myself, and they get on their Eat, Pray, Love or whatever, I'm like, that's a real thing. Like I literally became a different person living in China for 3 years, like for the better.
Damn, you were there 3 years. I was there like a month.
What?
I was there like back and forth 2 weeks at a time, like 3 times. and 3 years you lived in China. So do you still have any Mandarin?
Yeah, so like I work at a private school, right? So my bots, like we have mainly, this is one of my jokes, but we have mainly kids from Tanzania and kids from China.
Yeah.
There's like no in between, which is very weird. So yeah, I'm around Mandarin every day. So I try to like practice. They give us free Mandarin lessons.
And your French is on point.
I teach French, so that's nice.
That's wild.
But like it's grade 6 up to grade 6 French, so it's like I'm not going to be like the most.
Yeah.
But it's like it's good to not lose it.
Do you guys still do BBE Fatigue?
Yeah. Yes.
Till this day, I will never forget BBE Fatigue. Like that. I remember when I was like, it's BBE Fatigue. Like this is like basic Ontario French learning fucking curriculum where BB is a person.
Yeah.
And like BB is tired.
Yeah.
Is BBE Fatigue. And BBA this, BBA that. But when I heard BBA Fatigue, because it was like a fucking rap.
Yeah, BBA Fatigue. Hey. We do this every time. BBA Fatigue. What? Like, yeah. Every time we get on this podcast, we actually have a full like musical
French.
Interlude.
Have you ever been to Paris, by the way?
No.
We just booked the trip.
Shut up. How much was it? Like $500?
600.
Okay, I need to go to Paris.
600 round trip. She got one of her flights fucked over right at the beginning of COVID.
Yeah.
So she had $600 with Icelandic Air.
Yeah.
So we're like on Icelandic Air's website being like, where can we fly? Because they only fly like 6 places.
Yeah.
Because it's like Icelandic Air. Paris, $600. She already has 600 credit. I dropped 600. I'm going for my birthday, 3 weeks.
When's your what?
Woo!
When's your birthday?
October 6th.
Fucking hell.
I'm fucking excited. I've been to Paris as a connection for like 12 hours when I was young. We didn't even leave the airport. But I'm excited to do the whole Eiffel Tower bullshit and tourism shit. But I'm like, fuck, you know what I've heard? I've heard that France, or Parisians specifically, are assholes to English speakers. That's what all my friends who've gone there have been like, bro, when you speak English, man.
Yeah, well, that's...
Parisians specifically, not the French, Parisians.
But they're assholes, I've heard, to even people that speak, like...
I almost spit on the mic.
To people who also speak like Quebecois French, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I asked Quebecois people. I'm like, are you guys like
they're not cool.
Second citizen shit over there? Like, oh yeah. Like not like
Really?
literally treated, but like their French is treated as a lesser French.
Oh yeah.
It's like showing up to England with a Mississippi accent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, because like in Quebec they like make up their own words. Like they're very similar but different. Like I don't know, man. I want to go there. It sounds like it'd be dope. You think I don't want to have like a long ass baguette and a long cigarette?
Yeah, and you especially with your fluent French.
That'd be sick.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
But I think I'm gonna go to Croatia before I go to France.
Yeah.
To France.
What's the capital of Croatia again?
I think it's Split.
Split. It's always weird names.
It's spelled
with Eastern
spelled like split, but it's Split.
Yeah.
But you know, like
why Croatia? Oh, because your boyfriend's Croatian.
My
right?
boyfriend's
My
Croatian.
girlfriend's Serbian. We're doing this fucking.
She's Serbian.
She's Serbian. They're the same shit, pretty much.
Don't say that.
Is that
Don't
Yugoslavia?
Say that. No, don't say. Whoa.
Was Croatia in Yugoslavia? Was it one of the ones that broke out?
Yo. Croatian.
If you're listening to this, my bad, dog.
Yeah, his bad.
My bad, bro.
Because let me tell you, they do not like that. They do not like that. They are
Eastern Europeans love beefing their neighbors.
They have like a huge issue with each other. Love it. Like it's just crazy. Like they'll be like, oh, that guy's cool, but a little bit, but you know, for a Serb, like, and then they'll be like, oh, that guy's cool for a Croat, and like it's just very intense. I'm like, you guys both don't have salt and pepper, so I don't understand what the issue is.
Right? Like that makes me laugh how we hate. Everyone needs a fucking rival. We always hate people, right? America, Canada. Since we were kids, Rick Mercer is in America. Did you know that Canada's prime minister is a polar bear? Well, I didn't know it was a polar bear. Look at how, and we're in class. Like, look at how stupid Americans are. Yeah. Like, all that fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
It's the same over there. Like, I work with a Romanian in Detroit. He's like, I can never trust a Hungarian.
Like,
okay,
what is going
my
on?
girlfriend's dad, Serbian as fuck. He's always asking her about her one Albanian friend. He's like, watch out for that Albanian. It's like, what is it with all these? They're right next to each other.
They're right next to each other.
Don't trust each other. Trust issues like Drake albums. You know what I mean? Like,
yo, Drake album. Yeah, Drake. Trust issues like Drake album. Like CLB. Trust
Literally,
issues. Like,
trust issues.
What was that?
Oh, we're going into CLB Donda?
We are.
Okay, perfect. This seems like a appropriate wrapping up topic. CLB Donda. What do you think?
I'm mad at Drake. Like, I'm mad at him for this. I'm mad at him for doing this to us. How is he gonna have one track that's good?
And what was that track?
The first track.
Okay, the one where you're like, yo, this album's gonna be crazy. Yeah. I remember listening to that. I'm like, this is it. This is the album.
Yeah.
He gave an ugly cover because the album is so sick.
Yeah.
That's when I saw it. Look, the cover's so ugly, the album's gonna be crazy.
I couldn't believe. I was like, okay, who's the marketing team here?
Yeah, right.
But I was like, okay, you know what I mean? And then I listened to it and I just was so mad.
It's more of the same.
But he said nothing was the same.
But it wasn't that Nothing Was the Same. Wasn't that an album like 8 years ago or a mixtape?
That sounds exactly like this album. This album was trash. I feel like I feel like Drake just gets to put out which shit he wants.
It was number one. It broke every record.
But how?
But that's the problem. When like you will break every record regardless.
That's what I mean. Like, what about your music? Are we going to talk about it ever? Like, because let's be real, Donda's a better album.
It is. And at the beginning, I said CLB, and everyone pretty much around me was like Donda. My girl was like Donda. And eventually...
and then Drake was like, Kanye was like, Donda.
And then it was like, Donda. I kept listening to track one, Donda. But seriously, though, like, you go to Rap Caviar?
Yeah.
Like on Spotify?
Yeah.
And you'll listen to those tracks, and they'll make you go like this, but you'll never search that track. And if you come by it again in a year, you're like, oh, I was fucking hitting that. That's CLB.
Yeah.
It's full of that type of track where I'm bumping it right now. TSU, fucking, what's it called? Way Too Sexy or all that shit.
What's with the Too Sexy song? It's so bad.
It's for a fun music video and for the radio. Of course. Like, it's all for mass commercial success.
But
right?
it's so bad. Like, I'm mad about it.
Off the top, I was like, oh, Donda, at least he's doing some experimental shit. When I'm like, oh, fuck, this is crazy. Donda. I'm like, man, this guy's on some next shit. And I was like, I didn't vibe with it. And then now it's like New Again, Remote Control, Jail, New Moon or whatever it's called, Jail Part 2.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, New Moon.
But Off the Grid?
Yeah, like that Off the Grid was the Rap Caviar track.
Yo.
That one went right up with like Takeaway or whatever it's called with Travis Scott and CLB. But I'm just like, but it is, people are right. It is a more coherent package of like, this is an album.
Yeah.
CLB is just like, Drake is just like 21 tracks. There you go.
Yeah.
Each one is like another one. A lot of them are like, I just told her call me, but she wouldn't call back. And I thought, and fuck it, I looked at my phone, 100,000 other ones. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I just look around, choose the one I want the most. You know what I mean?
Just like,
and when it drops, you're like, oh shit! You're
like,
you're the one I want the most.
You're the one I want the most. Block that bitch. Like,
exactly.
Like, okay.
But then very quickly, I'm just like, I don't want to play it because it's just kind of like, it feels when Gucci Mane drops a track, I'm like, oh, when Migos drops a track, oh.
Yeah.
But it's like Hang Time is so shitty compared to this Donda shit, which grows on you, and like Kanye shit in general. Like, why can't we have a track like Graduation? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Why
or like
can't
a track like Late Registration. Like, a lot of these tracks only seem to be doable by like early artists.
Yeah.
Because it's a solid piece of good music. But once they get past that, it's like Kanye's on that experimental shit. And I know you're fucking like a Kanye guru.
I love Kanye so
yeah.
much.
Like, where does that stem from, that deep love of Kanye West?
I just love that he's so much like me in the fact that he just doesn't give a fuck. Like, he's just a narcissist, but insecure, but like won't take shit from anybody, but will take shit from one person, but like will always be the best at what he does and doesn't settle for anything less than that. And like, he won't do shit that he doesn't mean. Whereas Drake does shit he doesn't mean all the time. Drake does shit he doesn't care about all the time. When he put out what was that fucking song where he made, like that song he made for TikTok with the dance moves? Right.
And left foot slide, right foot slide. Either way, I know. Either way, we're about to slide.
The Tootsie slide.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, when you know immediately that it is a strategy thing. Or even when he put that one where it's like, Habibi, la, he speaks a little Arabic. I was like, yo, that's just a 6 second, and it wrecked TikTok.
Yeah.
The second it dropped. Habibi, something ahla, like when he speaks Arabic.
Yeah, you're just like,
Habibi, akid, ana, something ahla. I was like, oh, that's it. This is about to take over. And it took over TikTok. He's doing that thing. Like I'm saying, Drake knows the equation.
Yeah.
And he's just creating, like he's maximizing the equation for commercial success.
Right.
Whereas like Kanye apparently is still trying to make a thing. Like he's like in a fucking dark room trying to be like.
Well, Kanye is still an artist. Like he still is like, this is art. Like you can also decipher things. It doesn't have to be like so digestible for you. Like it doesn't have to be about TikTok and Instagram. Like maybe a song about your real feelings. Like, I don't know.
And all of it was about like Kim and stuff. Like my ex, you'll never be my ex though.
Yeah.
Or like all that stuff was like Kim, right?
Yeah. Kim and his mom. And it's just like deep and meaningful. And Drake, I'm just like, yo, what have you been doing this whole time? Like why? I find that Drake has too many albums where half the songs are trash.
Yeah. That's why he puts a lot of tracks on the album to begin with.
And I'm like, I want every song to be good. I'll give you like 2 or 3 where I'm like, what the fuck is this? But
and then like 6 of them will be soca kind of.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm still from Toronto. Here's my Jamaican Dominican thing.
And I'm like, you were like,
but you were just doing the Miami thing 4 years ago.
That's what I
I'm
mean.
in Miami. DJ Khaled, everyone in my track.
And then it was just like the whole like UK flex.
And then it's like Arabic. Yeah.
The Galchester shit.
And we're running back. Yo, tell him, Grimes.
Yeah. And you're
Man's running up. And then they do the lot of audio at the end of the track. Yo, Mans was running up. We slammed him still. Man's cut back. He was a road man. He fucking, this is like.
Oh, it's a road thing. You think it's like, and you're like, Drake, please.
Wow, Drake is really involved with that scene.
Yeah.
He knows that. He hangs out with those guys.
Well, I see him like on YouTube, Fire in the Booth in the UK. And I'm like, this guy doesn't have Fire in the Booth. Like, what's going on right now?
Like it's a mailed-in verse or whatever?
Like, it's just like, I don't know, man. I get it. You're trying to, like, work with every single thing and be popular everywhere, but your music is suffering. It's trash now. Like, how hard do you want 40 to work?
I know, dude. I know. 40's production is still on point.
Yeah. 40's like literally like out there just like, please, Drake, please. Can you get some lyrics?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm running. I'm low on gas, high on this.
Like you're like, yeah. And then just like throwing out random streets in Toronto that nobody will know about because no one's ever been here. He'd be like, out in Etobicoke.
Yeah, right.
Out with my Etobicoke hose. Now I'm gonna hit Burlington. I'm like, these people are in fucking LA. They don't give a fuck about this shit.
Oakwood Avenue, St. Clair. Oh shit! Oh shit! That's us. Oh shit! Yo, he's still repping for us in Toronto.
Yeah.
He said Oakwood.
Like throwing like like that's what I said the other day. I was just talking about Kennedy. Like you put Kennedy on a fucking track, like Kennedy Road, Scarborough. Like, are you okay? The Delta Hotel. Like
it's weird. Drake is getting to that point of like
he doesn't give a fuck.
Where it's like, oh, he's already been there for a while, but it's also getting to the point where it's like, soon you're gonna be like 40-year-old hip hop single craze, like heartthrob, like. How long can that thing go? You know what I mean? Like, and like, sure, you can make it last as long as possible, but it's also like, when's the next thing? Like, that's the thing. That's why Kanye evolved past him.
Yeah.
Because he did the family thing.
Yeah.
And even though it went south,
at
least he did the family thing, right?
Right.
Jake's like, I'm just going to keep going on tour, fucking these
boy.
bitches. And just like, I don't know when this shit wraps up. We'll see when it wraps. But it's like the same album, like, Views, the playlist he dropped with Chicago Freestyle.
Like,
what was the last dope Drake album?
I would say if you're reading this, it's too late.
Oh, with Jungle in it.
Yeah.
And
like
I'm selling wallets here. Selling wallet.
And like Preach, like with Party Next Door.
I was running through the
streets with my woes.
Oh,
you know how that should go.
Yeah, that was the track.
That was like
that took over.
Yeah,
that took over. That's when I was in London and we were like, "Yo, Toronto!" Like, that's yo, Canada. That like brought Canada running through the six. When he was saying six, now he doesn't even say six anymore. No. Now he's world god here, in Monaco doing world god shit. But on Oakwood Drive too. Oh shit, Oakwood!
Literally. Yeah, so Drake, if you're listening to this, Drake, if you're reading this, it's too late.
Yeah. That's fucking perfect. I love that. Yo, Tamara, please look into the camera. Tell these people where to find you.
All right, so you can find me on Instagram at Teemair, Teemair. That's linked up to my link tree. So you'll be able to see every show that I'm doing. I got mad shows coming up in September and October. Same thing on Twitter at Teemair. And then that way you can find everything that I'm doing. Check out the Sunday Best Comedy Podcast. It's my podcast about Kanye. Comes out every other Sunday. and we give advice from Kanye, and I just big him up and hope that he follows me. So
I told you she doesn't fuck around with Kanye. Yeah, I'm about to do this podcast soon.
Yeah.
Real quick, because this episode will drop next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to win this election? Just put it out there, because then it'll be decided by then.
It will.
I don't follow politics.
It will
like
be
that.
liberals again.
Yeah.
People don't like
O'Toole,
change.
or you think Trudeau again?
Yeah, Trudeau. I think we'll get
O'Toole's
it again.
conservative, right?
Yeah, and then
NDP's Jagmeet.
Jagmeet. I you know what?
NDP never wins.
They don't win because it's just like so unrealistic of all the things that they want to do. It's like, you know what I mean? They're like, every person will have 6 unicorns and $9 million. I'm like, okay, they won't.
And
though.
bridges everywhere.
Yeah.
Bridges everywhere.
I'm just like, I feel like
love
people are
bridges.
just like scared. They don't really want change. They're like, if you say you're going to do this, Trudeau's garbage though at his job, but.
You're right. People don't like change. Yeah, just fucking mail it in.
Yeah.
Right?
Like,
I don't need to meet a new guy in his family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're like.
But that's good. I love that. When this episode drops, we'll know. Who knows? Maybe Trudeau actually sounds right. I think I'll vote Jagmeet just to see an upset. Who knows? Just to see some next shit. But you're probably right. It'll be Trudeau. But anywho, all that stuff she just said will be in the description. Do you got a show coming up real soon? Next week? Like a big show? Or just go to your link tree?
Yeah, next Friday. Oh, I'm doing a private show.
So not that one.
Yeah, I'm just
Either way, look
to
at
my
her link tree, scroll
So
down,
many.
click that. She's running shows and be on shows all over Toronto, so you can check out Tamera. From my end, support the show directly at patreon.com/the Immigrant Section. Get the full on-street interviews and solo episodes, all that. Please support. Check that out. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. Do it. Tamera, this has been a fucking pleasure.
Yes.
Get me on your shit.
Yeah, he's gonna be on the next episode. So you guys, back-to-back podcasts.
Ooh, that's how to do it. Until next time, y'all have been great. Peace.
Bye.